it's the first event we've started late. Welcome, everybody. I'm Ju Gosling, the Artistic Director of Together 2012. I'm in my home studio where I've been for the last 8 months in East London, and with me, where she's been locked down with me, along with her 2 cats and assistant's dog, is our chair, Julie Newman. I'm just going to start with some brief audio description. I'm a white woman with pale olive skin, green eyes with big bags under them. I've got a self-styled hennaed corona crop, hidden, you'll be pleased to know, under a red pound shop pork pie hat. I've got black plastic glasses, black wrist braces, silver coloured jewellery, and a green Happy Holidays t-shirt. I've also got some festive jewellery, so I've got a sparkly necklace and earrings and a red bracelet that was made by one of our longest running volunteers, Kathleen Jackson, who I'm pleased to say is with us tonight.
Hooray.
Behind us is our Together 2012 graffiti banner. We have a little rainbow coloured, slightly lurching miniature Christmas tree and toy robin. And we've got some Christmas decorations above our heads, which move when we hit them by mistake. Julie, who are you? What do you look like?
And yet again,
What do you look
what
like?
do I look like today? I don't know. I'm Julie Newman. I'm the chair of Together 2012. I'd like to welcome everybody. Today I'm wearing a red Santa hat with a bell, and unfortunately the black cat is eyeing me up and is actually quite close. So I might get jumped on in a minute. I think he's very jealous of it. I'm also wearing tinsel, which is silver coloured and sparkly and catching all different colours in the light. It is very itchy. If anybody's considering following the trend, I would suggest think about it twice. I'm wearing a white t-shirt with holly on it, and it says Joyeuse Noël, which is I don't speak French, so my accent is probably terrible, but it's a season's greeting thing.
Well, you did grow up partly in Canada, so
I
let's
did in
say it's a
French Canada.
Canadian
Yes,
French accent, and I partly bought that T-shirt in tribute to our Canadian partners in
indeed.
Montreal, and one of them, Sealy Quest, may or may not be with us this evening, but has certainly joined us for a whole range of events. And that's been one of the lovely things about this digital festival, being able to connect with friends. Yes, well, just for anybody who's visually impaired, the cat has now decided to clamber everywhere, and we'll just ignore him and assume that that's just adding to the Christmas fun. If you've got a Christmas outfit on and you're not intending to read a poem, but you'd like to show us your outfit, put a message in the chat, and at some point later through the next hour, Josh will spotlight you so we can all admire it. But first, I just need to do a few housekeeping things and a few thank yous. We have Chris Burrow, our interpreter, spotlighted on the Zoom screen. If you're watching on a tablet or on a mobile or on YouTube, I'm afraid you can't see the BSL. It's a limitation of Zoom, but the BSL will be on the recording of this event, which will be on the website tomorrow. The closed captions you can access on both Zoom and YouTube from the bottom of the screen where it says CC. If you'd like to send us a message, perhaps to say that you'd like to perform or to tell us what you're wearing, or indeed in Deborah's case, what you're eating and drinking, you can either use the live chat or the Q&A box. The Q&A box is a box that isn't usually there if it's an ordinary Zoom meeting. It's next to closed captions on the bottom right of the screen. To view the live chat, you go to the top left of the screen and click on view. That brings up a whole load of typing down the right-hand side, after which you can type your message right in the bottom. And if we overlook anything, I know that my assistant Josh is just going to come on the mic and let us know. So this evening, as well as looking back on 5 weeks and just thinking, our first digital festival, it's been, Yeah, such a success in so many ways. And I think one of those ways is being able to connect with artists and audience members from across the country and across the continent and beyond. And to have these presentations which have come from such a wide range of countries. You know, I think on Saturday we had Sign Dance Collective International. One was in London, one was in Croatia, one was in New York. The presentation on Tuesday, one of them was in Germany. So it's given us connections that we simply couldn't have had. I also wanted to point out to anybody who's feeling disappointed that we're not having our usual party, just cast your mind back 3 years to when the Vicarage Lane Community Centre ceiling collapsed and the party was cancelled at 2 hours notice. The food, fortunately, we were able to transfer to Anchor House, which is a homelessness facility, but the party didn't happen. So this has to be an awful lot better than that. And I hope it's going to be massively better than that, because one of the things we're celebrating is the publication today of our second poetry anthology and our first ebook. So our poetry anthology, Together 20 Poems for 2020, is now available to download from our website as a PDF and an EPUB, and it's currently in the process of being approved as a free Kindle book. If you've got a poem in the collection, we will be bringing it out as a physical book when conditions are a bit easier. And in the meantime, we're going to arrange print on demand copies, so you've got a proper book to show people. We had said 1 copy, but I think it's silly. We'll probably send you at least 2 copies each soon after Christmas. And then you can give one of them away should you wish to do so. But now, before we move on to the poems, well, I'll just tell you what's coming up. Robin, our business director, also known as the artist Angry Fish, and our co-host on Together Unlocked, is going to start us off in a minute with his brand new song, Perpetual Emotion. Then we're going to move to listening to poets from the anthology. Anybody who'd like to read their poem, please let us know. Hannah is also going to help to ensure that the ACT UP poets all get an opportunity to read. Penny Pepper, our virtual writer in residence, I'm just so pleased to say will be joining us from Hastings in about 10 minutes, and Penny will perform. And then following more poems, Robin is going to play us out with his version of I Will Survive, which is We Will Survive. I think we're now going to finish about 6 minutes past 8 to make up for the late start. So lots to look forward to, and we'll be posting those lyrics in the live chat for everybody to join in at the end. But now I'd like to ask Josh to spotlight Robin instead of me. I will try and get rid of the cat while we're gone. And Perpetual Emotion, Robin Surgener, Angry Fish's brand new song.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I shall get straight into this. Sorry, Chris, it's very fast. Locked up, locked down, 100 million wearing frowns, face masks, feeling fear, knowing that danger's always near. Elbow bumps, distance kisses, work from home, friends we're missing, isolation for the masses, no exemption, freedom passes. Hungry children, empty fridges, broken promises, broken bridges, fevered brows, forehead searing, testing wrecked by profiteering. Hope prevails, pandemic defeater, virus strong but love is greater, friendship bonds that last forever, humanity saved. Let's work together. May your heart keep calling in perpetual emotion. People of the world, unite in the notion. Together is the future, together is the way, together is the promise we need every day. Oh, hope prevails, pandemic defeater. Virus strong, but love is greater. Friendship bonds that last forever. Humanity saved, let's work together. May your heart keep calling in perpetual emotion. People of the world united in the notion. Together is the future, together is the way, together is the promise we need every day. May your heart keep calling in perpetual emotion. People of the world unite in the notion. Together is the future, together is the way, together is the promise we need every day. Together is the future, together is the way, together is the promise we need every day. Thank you. I shall be back later.
Thank you, Robin. And I suggest that we start, just because it's such an awful thing to have to be the first one, I decided I'd make Julie do it, because Julie has been attending our pop-up poetry club since we relaunched it as a phone group in July. The pop-up poetry club has transferred beautifully by phone. It's the one club we've managed to keep almost exactly the same structure. So we phone you, pay the calling costs. The group starts at 10:30. People exchange, people read poems they've written or poems they've enjoyed by somebody else. Then they write a poem based on a theme set by our club's program leader, the international artist Alison Marchant. And then people come back to share those poems. We also are able to continue to do things like breathing exercises and talking about performance. And we've been able to then read those poems on our Together Unlocked live stream on a Wednesday afternoon. So since July, they've been creating poems for us in the morning, reading them in the afternoon, and that's one of the reasons we have this anthology now. So Julie, will you give us your poem Together?
Indeed, but I'll say it myself. This is Together. This was actually written because that was a theme that both Ju set and Alison set for the Poetry Club. Before and after sunshine and rain, sweet and sour again and again, poetry comes in many sizes, verses large and verses small, words that sing in many guises, opposites attracting, short and tall, poles apart that push, then pull, seeming empty, then so full. Is it up or is it down? Is it day or night or is it day? Sorry, I got distracted. In the country or in the town, is it working or at play? Picking words to tell a story, writing forward, then reverse, something that will shine with glory, something subtle but in verse. How to spin the words together, some are better, some are worse. Is it bitter, is it sweet? Is it open or is it closed? Is it head or is it feet? Is it top or is it toes? Together, we can make a change, using words to tell a tale. Some we struggle to arrange, some will work, then fail. How it looks, how it flows. It's a story that just grows.
Thank you, Julie. And as you can tell, there's a very wide range of interpretations of the theme. Hannah and Stara, I wonder if Stara would be able to do her poem next, in which case I will leave you to introduce it. Would you like to do yours next, Stara? Great. So you can just take me off the screen for a minute, Josh. And I'm loving the Christmas outfits.
Very much.
And so just while they're getting ready, Hannah and Stara are both in red, and Hannah, who's going to interpret, has also got a Christmassy hat on. Stara has a white star on her red top. And of course, Stara means star.
So the poem's by Stara, and it's called Waiting to go out. All of us are waiting, meeting on the computer. We're all happy, waiting to go out. But no, we are not together. No, not going out for dinner. No dancing. Not happy. We are angry and sad.
That was great. Thank you very much indeed, Stera. I'm just going to bring my list up, which of course ridiculously needs me to tap it with the right finger because it does all this stupid things in terms of fingerprint recognition and so on. So if I look at my list of poets and I look at who's here.
I think we've got Duncan and Alison and Glory.
Hannah, Glory, would you like to come next? So Josh, if we can pop Glory up as a panelist and see if he's got his poem ready to read.
He's in now, and then just
Hi, Glory, we can see you. Wonderful.
Yes.
And we can hear you. Do you?
Yes,
bring
I'm
this in.
I'm going to read now. When I was outside of the garden, and I was chilling myself outside of the garden, going on a laptop watching Coronation Street. Then start playing music then, and I heard the bird flying, and I was screaming, "Ah! What the hell is that on the tree? A bird." And the next door neighbor heard me, and they said to me, "You're right, Glory." Yes, is it because of the birds? Yes, it is because of the birds, because it's made me want to. Aha.
Thank you, Glory. I think that
welcome.
was a bit of freestyling. So if anybody can find Glory his Together poem later, we'll bring Glory back on to read his
Glory,
Together
it's
poem.
on your WhatsApp now. So
Yes.
have a look for it.
Okay, so Ellen Goody has her hand up, and I'm going to assume, Ellen, that means you'd like to read next and come to you. And then Penny Pepper, if possible. Well, we'll just check whether you're ready to go after that. So we're just bringing you in now, Ellen. Now we can hear you, Ellen. We're just waiting to see you. And if you can bring Ellen in on the spotlight, Josh, please.
Yeah, Ellen, you should have a. Oh, yep, we can see you.
Cool, I'm glad that would help. I do.
So if you can read your Together poem, Ellen, that's the one we're expecting you to read, the one in the book. So it's your poem Together.
My Together one.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might remember that. Together, we are together, as strong, we are friends. Together, we are best friends. Together, friends together makes the world a better place. All friends together, we are strong together.
Thank you, Ellen. And I think now we'll bring in Penny because I can see that she's ready. We're so happy that Penny was already our digital writer in residence before coronavirus had even been thought of. So we've just carried on as usual, but we've had the pleasure as well of seeing Penny's videos from lovely Hastings and being able to imagine ourselves there being blown off the cliff, just like Pen.
Hello. Can everyone hear
Hello.
me?
I
Am I
think maybe get a bit closer to the mic, and then Josh, you can take us off the screen.
bringing in my great big microphone? How's that?
Lovely.
It's good.
So I'll just describe myself. I have long red hair, which is loose today. I have a necklace in the shape of spotty. I don't know if I got the spotty side or no. They're in the shape of a standard pair of glasses like the ones I'm wearing, a little bit cat's eye, and I'm wearing a grey speckly sort of dress, and I have really big earrings on that are pink at the ends. On my head I have a grey headband, sparkly headband, and on the top I've got my Christmas robin, which I do believe is gold details with a white fluffy feather coming at his backside, really. And I must say I'm against a deep pink red screen, and on the screen didn't quite work how I wanted, but I've got my garland of happy pink and red robins. But I hope that some of you can see them. I decided to do some new material tonight, and the first one I'm going to do, you know me, anyone who knows me knows that I have to be a bit political. Or is that a lot political? I don't really know. I
think it all depends on your definition, doesn't it?
Definitely does. So this is a new poem. So I thought I'd do this one first. Then I've got a short story that is short. It's a short story. And then I may do a little song of a poem. I wrote a poem, but I'll get to that shortly. So this is called, in fact, we can say Celebrate Together 2012. This poem's called I Met BJ 2012, Boris Johnson. I met BJ 2012 in a new Royal Park. The press is asked to sniff and to bark. He bounced up and down, such jolly old locks. That hair stood on end, and he's quite a big brute, a tailor's despair in his dishevelled suit. I stopped spouting words and followed his route. This PR delight, superhumans galore, Paralympians on show, they can coo and adore. An afternoon's work to a script, nothing more. I'm spitting out questions of lost rights and steps. How can we, the disabled, find hope in this mess? Will he turn now and face me and make some redress? His back was a wall and he would not turn round. I charged the muscle-bound bouncer who made not a sound. I'm invisible woman with ease to confound. Back then, clown mayor, now head of the board, the blustering biffer, neoliberals, high lord, lizard who I wish I could bring fast to the sword, in pieces. But reptiles are great, the metaphor's wrong. These out-of-touch humans stuck on privileged songs, in wealth gaps expanding, they throw us headlong into new normal bedlam as ministers laugh, as COVID comes sneering and screws up each graph. Fake news the leader, the bosses aghast at stupid science, and those all too clever now ministers own and dictate the weather. the rules for the rich, the elitist endeavour. Conspiracies spread like spores in a gale, while we spin in horror of tried hard and fail. And BJ screams bratty, the UK's for sale. So there you go. That's a new piece, little political piece. And I would say to everyone, do stay safe.
I think that was wonderful. Thank you, Penny. I've got a great T-shirt that's from Ai Weiwei quoting saying, everything is art, everything is politics.
Well, absolutely. And I really feel, and that is true. I did meet Boris, but he looked through me in 2012, and it was clear that I was not going to get any chance to ask him a genuine question.
He can really move fast, can't he, Penny?
Yes, amazing.
He really can.
But when you think of all the things we've done, like I'm sure you've been there, both of you, at GLA events or whatever it's called now. It's not is it a GLA? Where Boris never appeared. Never. But moving on, I'm going to read this little short story. And I'm delighted that this piece has just been published in a magazine called Mislexia. And I would really encourage anyone, I don't know whether Together can subscribe for your poetry group, because it's a great resource, Mislexia. It's for women who write, but men are allowed to read it too, obviously, and it's trying to level the playing field. It's been around for a long time. I've done a few bits for them, but this is absolutely a delight that I've been published for their winter edition. They have this slot called The World's Wife, and I would encourage everyone to give it a go, because it's a good little thing to do. But they were so lovely about this piece that I wanted to share with you. To set the scene, let's go back to 1884, Victorian, cold, be a bit shivery. There's not a lot going on out there. It's just not a happy place to be. And I'm trying to turn my light down a bit. I was going to try and create atmosphere, but there you go. That's what you get when you got a selfie stick, not Victorian at all. That's it now. This is called Mrs. J. Merrick, the Elephant Man. First, there's Daisy, who did nursing. Mr. Treves at the London hospital, he got girls in to wash the Elephant Man. Then there's Nancy, a bit of a peculiar one, a fancy freak, an invalid in this bath chair, pulled by a wolf. Well, my cousin Lisbeth's her maid. Daisy said, when you get used to Mr. Merrick and his strange face, he's a kindly gent. Got curious, didn't I? Nancy says, meet Joseph Merrick with me. I was scared, I admit. Took some gin before it. But the truth is, I don't see good. This Nancy, who has a kind heart, she said she'd get me some spectacles, but I don't want no charity. So when I met Mr. Joseph, I couldn't see no monster. And after I got accustomed to his speaking, our chat ran on and on. We was in the gardens near to his room on the ground floor. I didn't notice when Nancy left us. We talked about the workhouse, seeing as we're both familiar with that hell. He was concerned no vulgar ruffians had tried to ruin a pretty maid. Made me smile, and I had to wonder if he was truly seeing me, because my best features is my hands. Well, my old dad says so, fit for piano playing. Couldn't help me nosiness. Joseph's body, all lumps and bumps everywhere. I wanted to touch him once my nerves faded. When I left, his fine normal hand took mine to kiss, lifting it to his strange mouth. It made me shiver. Not all in shock. I was fascinated. Nancy and her wolf took me back again and again. We had tea with Joseph and he told me his tales, the good and the bad. Our Belgian freak show was frightful and cold, and then Mr. Treves saved him. Like most medical men, I thought the surgeon too snooty, made Daisy cry. And when Joseph stood up to me in front of us saying he was unkind, I knew I loved Joseph Merrick. Later that week, and Nancy had an hand in it, he asked me to wed. I flew into an happy passion. Nancy calmed me, said there are hard truths to face. Me and my family wouldn't like it. They don't like us that's different in these situations. They can't see beyond it. But she herself was delighted and urged me not to wait. I knew from Daisy that Joseph's particulars down below would rise as expected. But it was Nancy I asked a question I could ask no other, my cheeks burning. I'd always wanted children and couldn't see why not, if my Joseph could be the father. I believe Mr. Treves noted that Joseph's genitals are perfect, she smiled, and you'll find a way between you. It always happens. We married in spring, and I took on as a nurse, close to him while we made plans for our future in the world, me eyes not mattering any more than Joseph's shapes. I say long prayers each night, especially as now I'm with his child. Thank you.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I was really pleased to get that printed, and I did I made it a little more subtle. I didn't feel we were past the watershed, so it's always a problem with my work. But anyway, so
I
now
think one of the things we always say it together is, well, we're a family. We have to be inclusive and family based in the daytime. In the evening, we remember we're all adults, but sometimes the care workers have delicate sensitivities.
Yeah.
So we have to say they haven't really chosen to come to this. So yeah, that's
I know
why we do keep it a bit inclusive. But I
it's,
think you're erring very much on the safe side, Pen. You're fine.
yeah, I don't want it to offend people, and it's not in the context where there may be people who can't choose what they're hearing. That's better. So now I'm going to attempt to sing. Now it's a new poem, but I did it on purpose to an old folk song called Renadine. Anyone know the song Renadine? It was done by Fairport Convention many years ago, and I'm sure you know Fairport Convention, don't you, Ju?
I certainly do.
And this was on their first album, and it is a very old folk song, and I've just given it some new. I might not last the whole song singing, but the whole piece singing, but I'll give it my best. Now, can you hear that?
Yes. I'd love to see the rest of what you've got, your selfie stick and your automatic lights and so on, but we know everybody has to keep their streaming secrets.
Well, no, this is it's an app on my phone, so it can give me a nice starting note. So this is called Fox by the Sea, or Renadine for the 21st century. One evening as I strolled outside in evening's dusky light, I spied a proud young foxy, slinking keen and in plain sight. I called him gently, said, "Kind sir, will you bless me with your gaze?" He didn't turn, but slipped between the metal urban maze. And in our ears the sea rushed loud we stayed close, still and calm. I ached to see his pure eyes, understand I pose no harm. I moved along in stealth and hope as he trotted close ahead. His tail a dashing signal, come close, my friend, it said. When a child I saw his blood, the men who cut his kin, those who raid the killing sport, fake soldiers wade in sin. And in a dream it came to me, together we raced on. I felt my wild soul waken, distress would not hold on. And when you see that flash of red in city, sea by wood, love this earth and all its truth, heart wide, behold what's good. Thank you.
Oh,
That's
thank you,
lovely.
Penny. That was just beautiful. And what an incredible range in 3 numbers. I wish I could arrange sets like that.
Oh, it's you know what I'm like, Drew. I've been doing it a long time, and
Well, speaking of that, you did Penny on the telly on Monday. Is that available still for us to watch as a recording on YouTube?
it is. It will go up maybe tomorrow. At least it will go up maybe Monday. It's just being like crunched into a nice usable form, and we did have live streaming, which captions I should say, which is always quite funny, and it would be a good time, not time now, but it'd be good to have a discussion about that, Ju and Julie, because we found it very hard. I had quite a good budget for this, and we found it very hard to find reliable live captions.
I think that's right. And actually, maybe that is a good time to do some thank yous and just say hi to a few other guests. So we
Can
are
I
very...
just say thank you, Ju? Thank you as always.
Don't go away for a minute. Don't go
All
away for a minute. You stay
mean,
there, get your
okay.
breath, and then we'll chat a bit more. So we're very fortunate to have had Norma, Katie and Julia from Global Real-Time Captioning. They've also been providing a captioning service for Together Unlocked 3 times a week since June. It's just been invaluable. I would like to say to Sahira Khan, if you want to get ready to do the next poem. But again, Sahira, as a deaf artist, could never have come into contact with us without the live captions. We're now also in touch with a range of other deaf people. So we've had the wonderful Chris Burrow from Burrow Interpreting, who's been with us for years now, and instead of never wanting to see us again, she just gets more and more flexible, patient and long suffering. So it's just been wonderful to have Chris with us through the festival. That has been funded by Arts Council England and the National Lottery Emergency Fund. So I want to say a big thank you to them, and also to the production union Beck2, who gave us some financial support for the film festival. Yes, I won't dwell on that, but as I said at the beginning, all of our festival remains online for you to enjoy, and the recording of this event will be up tomorrow. We've had so many wonderful artists and filmmakers through the festival. I couldn't name them all, but I am just going to talk about a few people who are in tonight. We loved Deborah Caulfield's film, which we showed last Friday. Deborah also says, what a lovely singing voice Penny has. I want to hear more. And Debbie also said earlier, or Deborah rather, I don't have a paper hat or tinsel, but I do have a festive glass of red wine and a packet of crisps. So cheers. And Marina Popper had said, good evening, looking very festive, Ju and Julie. Well, we did try our best, but Marina has produced the most exquisite and sensitive project, which I think I've ever seen, which has been Muertos Ofrendas. And she's worked with a range of companies who've lost artists this year to create those tributes that we made at the opening, and also a whole range of resources for all of us who've lost people this year, or indeed before that, to be able to express our grief and our affection and our love. So it's really great that Marina could join us today. We have our wonderful clubs program leader, the international artist Alison Marchant. I know you don't like reading in public, but I'm going to ask you if you'll do your poem in a little bit anyway. We have our amazing cellist Joanne Cox. Joanne Cox, well, we had a video performance by Joanne of Sophie's song at the opening, and it was just, again, it was just perfect and very, very beautiful. And I know Sophie, who it was in tribute to, would have loved it as well. So it's great to see Joanne here. We have Kathleen Jackson, who's one of our longest serving volunteers. I wish I could see what you're wearing, Kathleen, because that I certainly am missing after some of the Christmas party outfits we have seen in the past. Scrolling down as well, just finally for now, I wanted to say hello and a huge thank you to Renee Wallen. Renee and her colleague have been doing our social media since August. You will have noticed we've had a much, much higher social media presence. Renee herself is a poet, so again, it's been great to keep up that tradition of artist-led work. But now, if Sahira is ready to perform her poem Together from the anthology, and then Chris will voice it. So we also just need to wait for Chris to put her mic on, and I'm going to come off the screen.
Is Sahira being spotlighted, or shall I pin her?
You're both spotlighted, or hopefully you can you see Sahira, Chris?
I can only see her as a small screen. I can pin her.
Oh.
I'll pin her.
Okay.
I had to make sure that you were big enough for me to see. Sorry. Yeah, ready. Hello, everyone. My poem is called Together. Together is so important. Why? Together means that we understand. Together, we don't need the answer. But together, as a community, a whole community, together, to support one another, to look after each other, to protect and not to fight. We don't need the fighting and the war. The unbalanced politics, we don't need that. Understand that together is peace, love, freedom, happiness, relaxing. Together, one community. Together, forever. Together.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, Sahira.
It's a lovely. Thank you so much, Zahira.
And Sahira has been an artist we've just been thrilled to meet and work with this year. Sahira worked with me on the quickest production I think we've ever created back in August, when the government, with no notice whatsoever, informed us that we were Newham was leading on the NHS COVID-19 app pilot. And as the only organisation led by disabled people with any funding at all in Newham, we were leading on the inclusion. And of course, there was no accessible information. So Sahira and I made our film WhatsApp Auntie and a whole series of short films from it. It contributed hugely to the success of the pilot and hugely to the fact that more than 20 million people are now using the app. I can't tell you some of the changes we were able to achieve, but let's just say I don't think there would have been anything like 20 million without that. So that's been wonderful. And I was also thrilled last weekend when Sahira was awarded the CAT Award for Best Film in a Language Other Than English for her film Faith. And that wasn't my decision, because I try to be very, very careful to leave the final decisions to others, but I was just so excited and happy about it. And also that Sign Dance Collective International won the Best Accessible Film Award, and they presented that on Saturday, and we could all see the reasons why. And that Danny Smith from Shadowlight Artists, who has quite significant learning difficulties, beat the most incredibly wonderful set of dance films I've ever seen to take that CAT Award. And I just wanted to finish on that by saying the CAT Awards are named after our late friend, very missed and always in terms of her artwork still with us, Catherine Aronello. So the CAT Awards also reflect Catherine's unique and totally wonderful approach to filmmaking. All of the award winners are listed on our website as part of the Film Festival programme, where you can also watch films of most of the live events that took place, and indeed watch many of the films too.
Ju, I think the CAT Award gets.
I've only just realised that
yes.
for anybody who can't see it, another cat, a different cat even, has just joined us again. If you're interested in the random pets that make appearances when we're live streaming, we actually gave them their own page on the website, which is under the Together Unlocked pull down menu. Can I just check, Penny Pepper? I know perfectly well you've already done your 3 numbers, but now you're in the swing of things. Might you give us just one more? She's smiling, which is
well, I'm smiling. Yeah, I can. I'm just thinking, what? An old favourite, or another new piece, or I'd like to do an upbeat piece. And then I have to make sure there's not too much bad language in it. You know me, I won't do special. For anyone who's seen special, I can't do special. Although I did do it on Penny on the Telly the other day.
I can't wait to see the recording of Penny on the Telly.
Yes, because I featured a film by Jo Cox, and one of Catherine's films.
Brilliant.
So, I can just see the chat. Deborah's asking for Cripplegate. Shall I do Cripplegate?
Well, we love Cripplegate. I love it more than anything in the world.
Well,
and I just, while Penny's setting that up, also in the chat, Renee Wallen says it's a pleasure working with you. Wonderful poem from Sahira.
I want to second that wonderful poem about our togetherness. And all very true.
Yeah.
I think I first saw Penny Pepper perform Cripplegate in the Liberty Festival in Trafalgar Square. It could have been somewhere else, but I have a very strong memory of that anyway.
Yeah, when it was still at Trafalgar Square. Okay, so shameless plug time.
Penny is holding up a copy of her book, which is called
Come Home Alive.
Come Home Alive, which has also got a wonderful cover.
It's a cover of, it's very punk, very Sex Pistols lettering, like cutouts, different fonts, different shapes. And there's my head.
Sorry to interrupt. Penny, Sahira said thank you so much. That's lovely of you to say, Penny.
Keep writing, keep writing. Good. So my on my cover, it's my head is attached to the body of the Botticelli Venus, which is a famous, I don't know how well am I doing? Yeah. So, and I'm in a wheelchair that's like a steampunk wheelchair with lots of splashes of colour in the background. And the funny thing was, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, it was banned as a direct picture by my publisher, the amazing Burning Eye Books. It was banned when they tried to put the cover on Facebook because it has a Botticelli nipple. So they are a bit infamous for banning classical art, but you know that is quite a good story on my CV. But I found Cripplegate, and it won't be quite the same without Jo. Of course, our lovely Jo, and we hope to be doing something live again one day. I would say just quickly, Penny on the Telly is done like it's like a short event of TV programs. So there were 3 films. There was Catherine's film with Erin Williamson, which was oh God, what's it called? It's terrible. I can't remember. Art Therapy, and I was the narrator. But it's very, very ironic, as we know. Catherine was the queen of irony, dark irony. But thank you so much for asking me again, Ju and Julie. I love Together, and I do think this has been a great opportunity to use live streaming. That's why I was able to do Penny on the Telly. At no point did we break the numbers or break the lockdown rules in any shape or form. So I was either in there with my PA and the woman who's the digital producer. It never went above 6, and that's interesting. So I was able to continue my work, and I hope to do more, and I hope to carry on being your writer in residence.
We wouldn't let you get away. Now we can reach you by the internet. You can't get away from us. Absolutely. But still, I'd like to introduce, without further ado, the very wonderful Penny Pepper with one of her best known earlier pieces, Cripplegate.
Cripplegate was a real place, by the way. So I use it ironically, but it was a real place in old, early medieval London. Cripplegate town. Give me 10 pork chops, 12 gallons of ale. Plague will chase us to our death. Leap close to hear my tale. We don't look like the king and queen of this or any land, but we're staying and we're shouting, sat firm to take a stand. There's deaf, there's blind, there's wailers, the war-hacked with their sticks. We gather at old Cripplegate for a morsel by its bricks. Bold Alice had the pox last year. Her face can still make trade, though high-born ladies with nosegays make sport and trot away. Edward entertains the lords and throws a splendid hobble. He rolls and shakes those stumps around and turns a dandy wobble. It's years away to Bedlam days, perchance we'll blame the devil. Rip my clothes, I am possessed, my hair's alarmed, dishevelled. Harold rings a begging bell, his lepers knows unseen, but underneath his wretched shirt, Alice knows what's keen. Oh, by the wall of our Saint's church, it's all about St. Giles. Yet if we see a pious man, we lose our godly smiles. Shiny farthings shower fast upon the crippled throng. Make sure the priests don't scoop 'em first. Each sings a greedy song. How can the law say invalids can't wave a begging plate? This is the life we're forced to live, so we'll haunt the Cripplegate. Come to Cripplegate, come to Cripplegate, come to Cripplegate town. You see me sway in my fine clothes, proud upon my frame. I throw their insults to the wind and other words reclaim. Like ancient cripples by that gate, I'll make my mark, be sure. I am here, and if you're good, I'll lead you through my door. Come to Cripplegate, come to Cripplegate, come to Cripplegate town. Come to Cripplegate, come to Cripplegate, to my Cripplegate town.
Yay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Penny. We'd like to wish you a wonderful Christmas and a great new year. And indeed, as we're getting to the last few minutes of the show, a very happy holiday and new year to other people. Alison Marchant, I know how much the club's programme people in particular would love to hear you read your poem. Before we move on to Robin Surgeoner, also known as Angry Fish, and Robin will be singing We Will Survive. So Josh, you can take myself and Penny off the screen now and bring in Alison. And Robin, if you can put your lyrics up, then everybody will be able to sing along when we get to it. So Alison Marchant, I don't know how many years I've known her. I think we met at the back of some artist networking event that we both found equally inaccessible and probably rude as well, and decided we had quite a lot in common. Alison's work is, well, I just don't know where to start, but last year at the show, at the festival, we premiered Alison's work about the life and times of Virginia Woolf, done in a way that nobody else but Alison could ever think about. That obviously couldn't tour this year either, but we're going to be, I think, probably discussing how to do it digitally if it comes to it. Alison, are you able to take your microphone off, and have you got your book? Have you got your poem in the book in front of you?
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Alison.
Hi. So it's just a short one, and it's called Words for Together. Collaborative innovation and independence, hopefulness, thoughtfulness, kindness, consideration. Unity is strength, pushing boundaries, creating change.
Thank you, Alison. I thought those were some lovely words about together to end on. So we're all going to say a huge thank you to Alison. Alison has really carried the club's programme this year with the support of Noel, and Noel, of course, didn't even begin until we'd officially closed the office. Alison oversaw a very, very orderly shutdown. I think it made a huge difference to how swiftly and easily people were able to transfer to home working. Like the rest of us, she's had to get way out of her comfort zone with all of this new and very clunky technology, but she's been running our phone-based group since July and our Zoom-based club since October. We're all so pleased to have her with us.
Oh, thank you.
Really, you've been a star.
Yeah. And thank you to Noel Guinan, our engagement support worker, and Hazel Brill, our youth development officer. We will be back for one final thing, which is Together Unlocked tomorrow afternoon, 3 to 4 on our website or YouTube. And after that, we will be closed for 3 weeks as
Yeah,
usual.
yeah, that's the one I sent you.
Oh, Robin, you're mute. If you pop yourself back on mute just for a moment. Thank you. So sorry about that. Where was I, Julie? Given that my lack
You
of
were
short-term
saying
memory.
that we'll have tomorrow's.
Oh yes, we have tomorrow. We have Together Unlocked from 3 to 4. The clubs will return on Monday, the 4th of January. Unlocked will return on Monday, the 11th of January. But in the meantime, we describe our festival as a bubble. It has got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it isn't going anywhere. You've got 4 exhibitions to explore. You have all sorts of performances and films to watch, and lots of activities to engage with. So do please keep revisiting the festival. There's also the Join In From Home programme on our website, and you'll be pleased to know after 9 months that we will be completely revamping that and Together Unlocked in January. So finally, but yes, and I think also before we bring on Robin Surgener, a huge thank you to the whole of his family. Josh Surgener has moved back home, all right, not out of choice, he's a student, but he's returned to the, it's not really a nest if you're Surgeoner's an angry fish, he's returned to the aquarium. After 6 years, he's been invaluable in helping us to present Together Unlocked, and completely invaluable through the festival as my assistant. Tracy behind the scenes has been monitoring our streams ever since we started back in March. On occasion, she pops in as a host. She's also done activities for us. And EJ, last but by no means least, has been presenting youth slots for us and also putting up with an awful lot. It's been just great to work with the Surgeoners since March. Those of us who were at last year's Christmas party will remember Robin coming down, playing the guitar. This time he's able to do it without that 7-hour round trip. So I think it's just like saying a digital party is better than the party that never took place when the kitchen ceiling fell down. I suspect Robin and the rest of his family probably see some advantages to a digital festival as well. So this is going to be We Will Survive from Robin Surgener, also known as Angry Fish. We're just going to give you a wave at the end and drop the curtain. But like I say, if you want to see us one last time, we have the Art Club running tomorrow morning from 11 to 12 for Still Life, and then Unlocked from 3 to 4. And then we'll be off air till 2021, which is a year I think we're all looking forward to seeing coming in. So thank you so much, everybody, including all of the people that I've forgotten. Over to you, Robin.
Okay, I'm sure you've all seen enough of me, so we're going to screen share the lyrics so they're as visible as possible. So Josh, as soon as you're ready. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, well, it would be, but I've just lost mine. Hold on a moment. Well, okay, slight technical. Is okay, so huge apology there, slight technical error. Okay, I am so sorry there. Just at the last minute, it all goes horribly wrong. So we will survive. And I think that was just as apt as it can possibly be.
Robin, screen share isn't working properly. If we can just wait a minute. Josh, the screen share still
First
isn't
I
working.
was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live with COVID locked inside. Then I spent so many nights thinking how I could be strong, kicking back with a jack, believing life can carry on. Then we found ways in digital space. We just learned that there are many ways to help communicate. We didn't need to change our outlook, didn't need to find a key. All we need is some hope, 'cause hope can set us free. So now go, secure your doors. Just accept the fact that just for now, no visitors anymore. We're not trying to be mean, not trying to hurt you with goodbyes. We will fight coronavirus. We won't just lay down and die. Oh, now go. We will survive as long as we stay safe and stay locked down home inside. We've got all our lives to live. We've got all our love to give. We will survive. We will survive. Hey, hey. Let's use all the strength we have not to fall apart. Keep trying hard at keeping fit for a healthy heart. You could spend your locked in nights feeling sorry for yourselves, or you could brave the isolation and break free from our shells. We will emerge like butterflies do. Oh, beautiful and flighty, with your lives ahead of you. So if you feel like dropping in, I'll politely say, please leave. We are saving all our anti-bac to ensure our food's germ-free. So now go, secure your doors. Just accept the fact that just for now, no visitors anymore. We're not trying to be mean, not trying to hurt you with goodbyes. We will fight coronavirus. We won't just lay down and die. Oh, now go. We will survive as long as we stay safe and stay locked down home inside. We've got all our lives to live. We've got all our love to give. We will survive. We will survive. Oh, now go. We will survive as long as we stay safe and stay locked down home inside. We've got all our lives to live. We've got all our love to give. We will survive. We will survive. Hey, hey. Thank you and have a great Christmas.